Have you ever wondered if your early bird habits are truly serving you, especially if you rise before 4 a.m.? We're about to reveal 5 subtle, yet significant mistakes people often make during these quiet hours that could be quietly impacting your health and longevity. If you're watching this video, comment great below and let us know you're ready to uncover the secrets to a longer, healthier life. Recent insights from the scientific community in vibrant New York suggest that waking before the sun can actually be counterproductive if not approached mindfully. As we mature, our morning routines, particularly during those pre-dawn moments, wield considerable influence over our well-being. This is especially true for those aspiring to thrive into their 90s, or even reach the remarkable milestone of 100. However, here's a candid truth often overlooked. There are 5 common missteps people make after an early awakening, each capable of gradually diminishing your physical strength, compromising your immune defenses, and eroding your vitality over time. In this discussion, we will thoroughly examine 5 actions you absolutely must refrain from if you find yourself awake before 4 a.m. Understanding how to sidestep these pitfalls could not only extend your lifespan, but also cultivate a greater sense of equilibrium, alertness, and robust health in the years ahead. From how you engage your mind in those tranquil moments to how you care for your physical form, each of these errors might appear harmless initially, yet their cumulative, long-term repercussions can be surprisingly profound. Stay with us until the conclusion, because once you grasp these 5 fundamental principles, you won't just safeguard your health. You'll also reclaim a sense of serene command over your mornings, a feeling often lost with advancing years. And that single, straightforward adjustment might just revolutionize your daily existence, how you live, how you perceive, and how you feel. Let's delve into the most impactful point first. 1. Yielding to electronic devices too soon. One of the most prevalent blunders folks commit after waking prematurely, particularly before 4 a.m., is immediately engaging with their mobile device or activating any illuminated display before daylight breaks. It might seem like an innocent diversion, checking a few notifications, scanning news headlines, or watching a brief clip to fill the time. However, this seemingly benign act can propel your nervous system into a state of overstimulation before it has even fully roused. In those nascent hours, your brain resides in a delicate state. It hasn't yet established the natural hormonal equilibrium required for a seamless transition into the day. The instant your eyes encounter that harsh, artificial blue luminescence, your physiology begins to receive a vastly different directive. Awaken immediately, even if it's not yet safe or optimal to do so. This isn't merely about disrupting sleep quality. Early exposure to screen light actively suppresses melatonin, the crucial hormone governing rest quality, immune function, and even cellular regeneration. By prematurely switching this off, you don't just experience sluggishness later. You may also undermine the very biological systems that underpin your body's resilience as it ages. And the impact isn't confined to your vision or cognitive function. Your cardiovascular system, digestive processes, and blood pressure are all intricately linked to your internal circadian clock. When you interrupt this natural cadence with blue light before your body is prepared, you essentially throw the entire system out of alignment. You might not perceive the consequences instantly, but over the years, they accumulate, leading to erratic cortisol patterns, heightened inflammation, and increased daytime exhaustion. With increasing age, this internal discord makes recovery more challenging and imposes a greater burden on your system than it did in youth. Some individuals might rationalize, "But I only check the weather," or "I just read a devotional on my phone," or "I only use a small, dim light." Yet, it's crucial to remember that your brain isn't solely reacting to the visual content. It's reacting to the timing of that exposure. Even minimal contact with bright light during the inappropriate window can trigger stress hormones that are not meant to be active at that hour. What's a more beneficial approach? Rather than activating a device or inundating your eyes with brilliant screens, Dedicate a few quiet moments to simply sit in subdued light. Permit your body to awaken gradually. Perhaps gaze out a window and observe the fading darkness without interruption. Allow your nervous system to come online slowly and gently. It's not merely a more tranquil start. It's a protective measure. You might be astonished by the surge of energy you experience later in the morning simply by avoiding screen illumination during those precious initial minutes. Your biological clock remains one of your most potent assets for healing and longevity. But only if you learn to collaborate with it, not contend against it. If you are finding these insights valuable, please comment enlightening below. 2. Neglecting immediate hydration. Waking before 4 a.m. places you in a distinct physiological state. Your body is still engaged in hours of restorative processes, detoxification, and profound rest. One of the most frequently overlooked, yet critically important, needs in this moment is rehydration. Following a full night without fluid intake, your body is naturally in a state of dehydration. However, many people awaken and immediately transition into activity, bypassing water entirely or opting for coffee without recognizing the considerable stress this imposes on a maturing system. When you rise and neglect to replenish lost fluids, your blood becomes slightly more viscous, your circulation decelerates, and your heart must exert more effort to transport vital nutrients throughout your physical form. This might not seem like a major concern in your 40s or 50s, but by the time you reach your 60s or 70s, the cumulative effect can elevate your susceptibility to sudden blood pressure increases, lightheadedness, persistent fatigue, and even conditions related to stroke over an extended period. Furthermore, dehydration upon waking also elevates cortisol, your body's primary stress hormone. While this hormone isn't inherently detrimental, it aids in waking and mobilization. If your levels are already elevated, and you fail to counteract them with water, they can remain high for prolonged durations. Elevated cortisol, as you age, is linked to increased abdominal fat accumulation, muscle mass decline, heightened anxiety, and even cognitive impairment. Here's another aspect most people don't consider. Your kidneys depend on adequate hydration to efficiently filter waste products from your bloodstream. If you skip water and immediately plunge into your day, your kidneys are essentially being asked to perform their vital function without the necessary fuel. Over time, this habit can lead to their decline, particularly for older individuals with any degree of kidney sensitivity or pre-existing high blood pressure. Even a modest glass of water at room temperature before you consume coffee, eat breakfast, or engage in any activity can make a tremendous difference. Some individuals enhance absorption and provide their body with a natural mineral boost by adding a pinch of sea salt or a squeeze of lemon. But fundamentally, consistency is key. That initial glass of water serves as a gentle system reset. It signals to your brain, I am secure, I am awake, and I am prepared to commence the day on the right footing. Therefore, the next time you awaken early, prioritize hydration as your very first action. You will experience greater steadiness, mental clarity, and heightened alertness without the need for an additional dose of caffeine. Most importantly, you will be providing your body with one of the simplest, yet most potent, tools to support a long and healthy existence. I believe you're enjoying this video. Before we continue, make sure you subscribe, like, and share this video. Comment wonderful if you're enjoying this video. Now, let's discuss the third point. 3. Engaging in strenuous physical activity before your body is prepared. Contemporary discourse frequently highlights the advantages of morning exercise, and indeed, movement is fundamental for healthy aging. However, here's a point less often articulated. If you are rising before 4 a.m. and immediately launching into intense physical exertion, you might be causing more detriment than benefit, especially as you mature. The timing and vigor of your movement are just as crucial as the exercise itself. When you awaken at such an early hour, your body has not yet completed its natural transition from a state of rest to one of alertness. your joints are likely stiffer, your muscles cooler, and your cardiovascular system is still in the process of warming up. Initiating a high-impact workout, such as demanding weightlifting, rapid running, or aggressive cardio before allowing your body time to adjust can send a shockwave through your system. For someone in their 20s or 30s, this might result in only temporary fatigue. But for someone in their 60s, 70s, or beyond, it can precipitate spikes in blood pressure, joint inflammation, and even cardiac strain. Consider your body akin to an engine that has been inactive throughout the night. You wouldn't step into a vehicle in the dead of winter, abruptly accelerate, and anticipate it running flawlessly. Your body operates on a similar principle. Older individuals frequently face an elevated risk of injury or delayed recovery when they overexert themselves during these sensitive early hours. And the disheartening aspect is that many people genuinely believe they are acting correctly, striving to be productive, disciplined, or strong, when in reality, they are forcing their bodies out of optimal alignment. This is not to say that movement is undesirable. In fact, gentle movement can be remarkably beneficial in the pre-dawn hours if executed with care. Activities such as stretching, slow-paced walking, deep breathing exercises, or a brief mobility sequence can aid your body in naturally awakening. These actions enhance circulation without overwhelming your system with stress hormones. They allow your joints time to become lubricated, your heart rate to gradually ascend, and your nervous system time to adapt. However, activities like jumping rope, sprinting, or lifting substantial weights before your body is prepared conveys the opposite message. It signals to your nervous system that it is under duress, and as we age, the repercussions of that signal become more pronounced, particularly when compounded over time. A gentleman I recently conversed with, Alex, a 72-year-old retired builder from Arizona, shared his experience. He recounted how he used to engage in high-intensity interval training workouts first thing after waking at 3:45 a.m. He genuinely believed it was benefiting his heart. But after a few months, he began experiencing chest tightness, frequent muscular soreness, and a persistent fatigue that he couldn't shake. Once he transitioned to gentler movement, incorporating slow yoga, floor exercises, and walking as his initial morning activity, his energy levels rebounded, and his sleep quality improved significantly. Your body is not something to be forced through. It is something to be attentively heeded, especially during the early morning. The signals it transmits, tension, stiffness, fatigue, are not indicators of weakness. They are vital messages. And if you learn to respect them, your body will reward you with enhanced resilience and increased longevity in the years ahead. So, remember, before committing to any early morning exercise, ask yourself, am I doing this to invigorate my body or to stress it? If it's the latter, grant yourself permission to begin gradually. There is inherent strength in gentleness, particularly when it comes to living a long and fulfilling life. Comment mindful movement if you're considering a gentler start to your day. 4. Flooding your mind with anxious thoughts or intensive planning. Waking before 4 a.m. can feel like entering a sacred space, quiet, still, untouched by the day's commotion. However, if you are like many individuals, particularly those who pride themselves on their responsibility or productivity, you might stumble into a subtle snare during this period, immediately plunging into planning, worrying, or even passively consuming negative news. Initially, this might seem constructive, organizing your thoughts, reviewing your schedule, tackling your list of tasks. But this behavior can insidiously inundate your mind with stress before your nervous system is equipped to handle it. The reality is that in the earliest part of the morning, your brain operates in what is known as an alpha state. This is a profoundly receptive, almost meditative condition. It is the birthplace of creativity, tranquility, and healing. Yet, it is also a state where you are more susceptible to emotional influence. When you feed your mind negativity, pressure, or anxiety during this window, whether it's fretting about expenses, checking electronic mail, or replaying past disagreements, you are essentially pre-programming your entire day with tension before it has even truly commenced. For older adults, this early mental stress carries a heavier burden. Studies have demonstrated that cognitive overload upon waking can disrupt cortisol patterns, weaken immune responsiveness, and even elevate blood sugar levels in older demographics. And when this is compounded day after day, year after year, the effects are not solely emotional. They manifest physically, impacting memory, energy, and resilience in ways that are often imperceptible until a breakdown occurs. This is not about advocating for idleness or avoiding your obligations. It is about strategic timing. There is a profound reason why monastic traditions, long-lived cultures, and even ancient healing philosophies regard the hours preceding sunrise as a time for stillness, contemplation, or spiritual practice, rather than demanding productivity. They understood that the early morning is when the inner self is most open and the physical form is most impressionable. A woman I had the pleasure of meeting, Ruth, now 78 years old and residing in Florida, shared her former routine. She used to awaken at 3:30 a.m. daily and immediately begin dwelling on her family's challenges, her medical expenditures, and all the matters she needed to resolve. By 7 a.m., she would be utterly drained, emotionally depleted, and her blood pressure would surge. Then, she began consciously altering her mornings. Instead of reaching for her planner, she started with deliberate slow breathing, reading something uplifting, and jotting down just one thing for which she felt grateful. This transformation redefined her entire relationship with the early hours and, more significantly, altered how she perceived her life. If you find yourself besieged by thoughts before dawn, it doesn't signify that you are doing anything wrong. It simply means your mind is grasping for control. But there exists an alternative path. Instead of planning, begin with presence. Instead of immediately attempting to fix everything, start with simply allowing yourself to feel. Even a mere 5 minutes of calm breathing, gentle reflection, or quietly sipping a warm beverage can furnish your brain with the grounding it requires to function optimally throughout the day. Your thoughts shape your hormonal balance, your immune system, and even the aging process, particularly during those foundational early hours. Therefore, guard that space as if it were sacred, because it truly is. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment insightful below to let me know you're here. 5. Disregarding gentle alignment of body and breath. One of the most potent, yet frequently undervalued, actions you can take after waking before 4 a.m. is to consciously align your body and breath before fully engaging with the day. And one of the most significant errors is completely bypassing this step. Many older adults who rise early simply shuffle directly to the kitchen, switch on the lights, and dive into their daily routine without ever affording their body an opportunity to ease into motion. What is often overlooked is that this gentle transitional moment, this brief period of connection between your respiration, your muscles, and your conscious awareness is not merely a pleasant experience. It is profoundly restorative. Throughout the night, your muscles tend to stiffen, blood flow naturally slows, and your breathing becomes shallower, particularly as you advance in age. This inherent deceleration can leave you feeling constricted, mentally foggy, or even anxious upon waking. If you transition too abruptly from stillness to activity, you bypass your body's crucial reset mechanism, the opportunity to re-establish harmonious flow, proper alignment, and a sense of calm. Without this foundational step, your nervous system remains tense, your posture tightens, and your body begins the day already holding on to stress it hasn't had the chance to release. This might not sound critical, but the scientific basis is clear. Gentle movement and conscious breathing in the early morning hours activate your parasympathetic nervous system, the division responsible for rest, digestion, immune response, and healing. When you stimulate this system through unhurried stretches or steady, deliberate breathing, you lower your blood pressure, stabilize your heart rate, and prepare your digestive and hormonal systems for optimal balance. It's analogous to tuning a musical instrument before a performance. You can still play without doing so, but the resulting sound will be discordant. When older adults skip this vital transition, the consequences manifest subtly: mid-morning fatigue, diminished circulation in the lower extremities, digestive discomfort, and fluctuations in mood. These are not random signs of aging. They are frequently the direct result of never permitting the body to properly arrive into the day. Without that anchoring process, your energy tends to drift. You may feel unsettled, distracted, or inexplicably tense, even if no dramatic events have occurred. The encouraging news is that the remedy is simple and requires only a few minutes. Seat yourself on the edge of your bed. Place one hand on your chest and the other on your abdomen. Breathe slowly and deeply. Inhale for a count of 4, hold for 4, and exhale for 4. Repeat this gentle sequence 3 times. Then, slowly stretch your arms overhead. Roll your shoulders gently. Tilt your head from side to side with awareness, and softly twist your spine from left to right. If your knees permit, reach towards your toes. If not, simply move with conscious intention. That is all it takes, just you and your breath, making peace with the unfolding day. I recall a gentleman named Wilson, an 81-year-old from Illinois, who frequently complained that his mornings invariably left him feeling tense and irritable. He would awaken before 4 a.m., head directly to the kitchen, consume something quickly, and settle in front of the television. It was no wonder. He later realized that his neck ached, his thoughts were cloudy, and he felt a decade older than his actual age. Then, his physician recommended a simple 5-minute routine of breathwork and gentle movement. It initially seemed rather foolish to him, but after just 1 week, his wife observed that he appeared calmer. After 2 weeks, his posture showed noticeable improvement, and after a month, he declared that he felt like himself again for the first time in years. Neglecting this type of gentle, intentional movement is not merely a missed opportunity. It is a subtle form of self-neglect, and you deserve better than that. You deserve mornings that nourish, not deplete, movements that energize, not exhaust, and breathing that serves as a reminder that you are alive, fully present, and worthy of care. So tomorrow morning, when you awaken before the sun, resist the urge to rush, to leap, to force. Begin with your breath. Allow your body to unfurl like a blossoming flower slowly, patiently, and with profound kindness. You will be astonished by how significantly it transforms the remainder of your day, and, over time, how it safeguards the length and richness of your life. Comment kindness to self if you are ready to embrace a gentler morning routine. As we bring this discussion to a close, take a moment to reflect on these 5 crucial morning habits we've explored. Which one resonated with you the most? Which one caused you to pause and consider? I've been doing that, and I had no idea it could be impacting me in this manner. That is the inherent power of awareness. It does not pass judgment. It simply opens a doorway. And once that door is open, transformation becomes not only achievable, but also a natural progression. This is not about striving for absolute perfection. It is not about adhering to a rigid schedule or experiencing guilt on mornings when things don't go as planned. It is about granting yourself the grace to slow down, to truly listen to the subtle signals from your body, and to cultivate habits that genuinely support you at your current stage of life, particularly in your 60s, 70s, or 80s, when your energy levels, recovery capacity, and mental clarity are more paramount than ever before. If you have been accustomed to waking before 4 a.m. and simply pushing through your day without much thought, I sincerely hope today's discussion has served as a powerful reminder. Your body is not the adversary. Your body is perpetually striving to support you. It is simply requesting better timing, a more harmonious rhythm, and more intentional care. The profound truth is that when you extend that level of deliberate care to yourself, your health doesn't merely stabilize. It undergoes a remarkable transformation. So, what steps can you take moving forward? Choose just one of these 5 habits and commit to shifting it starting tomorrow. Perhaps it means deliberately avoiding your phone for a while after waking. Maybe it involves making that initial glass of water the very first thing you consume before speaking to anyone. Or perhaps it's dedicating a few minutes to gently stretching your spine before even exiting your bedroom. Begin small. Allow that single conscious choice to build momentum and confidence. And from there, let it establish a new standard for your mornings. You have navigated life's journey this far for a profound reason. You have persevered, adapted, and continued forward when others may have faltered. Now, the critical question is, how can you truly protect that inherent strength? How can you generously give your body, your mind, and your spirit the kind of morning they truly deserve? The solutions are not complex. They reside within you already. They simply require a bit of focused attention, a degree of gentle structure, and an abundance of self-kindness. Thank you for joining us today. We are genuinely eager to hear from you. Please leave a comment below and share one key insight you gained today and how you intend to integrate it into your life. Your thoughts and perspectives are incredibly important to us, so please do not hesitate to share them. Reading your comments provides us with immense motivation and encouragement to continue creating valuable content to inform and inspire you. If you found this video enjoyable and helpful, please subscribe, like, and share it with others who might benefit. Your support empowers us to continue producing valuable content. Thanks for watching, and we eagerly anticipate connecting with you in our next video. Don't forget to check out our other interesting content right here on the channel before you go.